School's online till summer. School's online with Blackboard. School's online with Zoom meetings. Hey, we're back in marketing. Today we're going to discuss advertising and return on investment, which is going to be the next section coming due of your marketing plan. We're also going to discuss different types of travelers, and there's going to be an activity where you can create an advertisement targeted at a specific traveler group. Before I get into the lecture, I'm going to do a quick screen capture on the advertisement and advertising ROI section of the marketing plan. So the next section we have coming due is the advertising and sponsorship section. And ordinarily, I'd have you get into groups and we do an activity on this where you came up with some different advertising and sponsorship options. But since we're not meeting in class, I thought I'd just try and go over it again. The biggest takeaways from the advertising and sponsorship section is that you want to be very specific. And I'll give you an example. Let's say your target market was children, then maybe you run a television ad, but you'll want to make sure you run it on Nickelodeon and PBS Kids because it's going to be focused at your target market. So just ensure while you're looking at these things that you're connecting them specifically to your target market. If you're going to do a billboard, then put the billboard in the neighborhood of the people you think you're targeting. As far as the annual cost, just make an estimate on it. It doesn't really have to be correct, and that's not really important. When you're a marketing person, they'll give you those costs when you go out and purchase advertisement and sponsorships. But we need these costs in order to calculate return on investment, which is the other portion that's going to be turned in. If we take a look at the advertisement and sponsorship ROI instructions, there's an example in there. And what I'm really looking for is for you to walk me through how you think you're going to generate that revenue. If you want to use percentages, that's fine. For me, it was the easiest thing. And so in this example, what I'm saying is I think it's going to result with a $10,000 increase in sales. And this increase is based on the ad that I produced being viewed by 10,000 people. Not everyone's going to want to get something, and the ad's only going to have a conversion rate of 5%. 5% times 10,000 people would result in 500 purchases or 500 people that would want to buy. If the average purchase at my restaurant is $20, then I can take the 500 people, which I calculated based on the ad's conversion rate, and multiply it by the average that they're going to spend. And that's where I came up with the $10,000 for the sales increase. So what I want to see for each one of your advertising efforts is for you to walk me through how effective you think it would be. Maybe you're doing Facebook advertisement. There's a certain number of people that are going to see it every day. You think you'll convert some of them, and then they're going to buy a certain amount of product at your place of business. The final step is calculating the return on investment. And to calculate the return on investment, you simply take this increase in sales and divide it by whatever that cost was. So in my example, I had a $10,000 increase in sales and it cost $1,000. When I perform that calculation, I get 10. And what that 10 tells me is that for every $1 that I'm spending on advertisement is generating $10 in revenue. And that can be expressed as a return on investment by putting the 1 afterwards. So what that 10 to 1 or 10:1 right there means is that for every $1 I spend, it generates $10 in revenue. And it's important to find the ROI for all of these efforts. That way we can prioritize where we would want to spend money, or if we get our marketing budget cut, decide where we might stop spending money. So if you have any questions on that, please reach out to me. Now, in the hospitality industry, we have different types of travelers, and depending on the type of traveler, we'd want to target our message differently to them. We have business travelers, there's going to be leisure or pleasure travelers, there's going to be package travelers, there's going to be mature travelers, international travelers, and then what's called free independent travelers or fit travelers. So when looking at business travelers, these people are using the product because of a need to conduct business. And there's certain things that they're looking for. First of all, they're the largest major segment, so it's something that's very important to any hotel or restaurant. Secondly, what makes them very good is they're the least price sensitive, which can be great for selling higher price items. Now, business travelers are looking for certain things, and I'm going to go over their needs in order. First, they look for the convenience of a location when trying to select a hotel. Second, they look at the hotel's reputation. And then third, they look at price. So the process for a business traveler is to look at where they need to be and identify an area where they'd like to stay. They then look for a hotel that they've heard of or check the reputation online. And then at that point, they consider price. So that can be great, especially for higher end hotels. The next section of travelers are leisure or pleasure travelers. And these travelers are visiting hotels for non-business purposes. Could be a business traveler who extended their trip as well, which is happening more and more. Now, leisure travelers can have very high potentials since there's so many of them. There's things like family vacations, or they're visiting friends and family, but leisure travelers are going to be a little more price sensitive than those business travelers. And what these leisure travelers are looking for are things like beautiful scenery, or places they haven't been before. They like to schedule their activities in advance, and they like going to historical hotels or theme parks. So when you think about the leisure traveler, you're going to want to market differently to them than the business traveler. There's also package travelers, and those travelers are going to be purchasing a combination of a room and an amenity at a reduced price, and those represent another segment you can go after. Typically, you'll look for those package travelers in your traditionally low demand period, and you'll utilize these packages to maximize your revenue. Another segment are mature travelers. They're going to be ages 55 and over, and they're actually a sub-segment of leisure traveler. Now, they're a very big market, and the boomer generation used to be the largest generation. It's now been overtaken by the millennial generation, but it's still a very big segment of the population. And mature travelers like to travel extensively. Mature travelers, their children are grown, typically their mortgages are paid. They're very flexible in how they can travel. What mature travelers are looking for is to visit new places, visit their friends and family, and they like having a flexible schedule. When you're trying to target mature travelers, there's certain things that you want to do. You want to keep the ads upbeat. You want to depict older people as active and healthy and involved. You want to use sensitive language towards older people. And you want to emphasize convenience for all their traveling needs. You want to make sure you're showing the price-value relationship for them and ensure that it's a good value. You'll stress service, reliability, and savings when targeting these mature travelers. The final thing for today is a traveler activity, if you'd like to take a look and post to the discussion board. Again, your next section of the marketing plan coming due is going to be the advertising and advertising return on investment. And today, on Wednesday, your goals and strategies section are due by midnight. Hope you guys have a really great day. And again, today we discussed advertising and return on investment. We discussed different types of travelers, and we have an activity creating an advertisement targeted to a specific traveler group.